I brought this to your attention a couple of days ago. This went viral. The new Black Panther Party of Defense out of Philadelphia, and they're supposed to be anti-ICE. So I want to play this clip, a couple of clips, because this guy here, Paul Birdson, he is the chairman of the new Black Panther Party.
Won't no ICE agent ever run up on me. I guarantee you they won't. I'll put a hole in their chest the size of a window. Safe line repair, safe line replace. That's what's gonna happen. They touch me. Unarmed woman was killed by ICE. If you think you're about to come and brutalize the people while we're standing here, trying to find out. Our interactions with the police and ICE, and we hold them accountable. We hold them accountable. We patrol the community and we hold them accountable. The Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, we're the same Panther Party from back in the day, but we're a little more aggressive now, you dig? Carry bigger guns and we don't take no shit. Places where there are a lot of immigrants at, I think that the community around them needs to take special care to them and needs to start escorting them to and from everywhere to make sure that they're safe. Because them ICE agents ain't gonna act like that if it's a bunch of people standing outside with assault rifles and shotguns. It's a semi-automatic shotgun. That means them shotgun shells that shoot out of a pump, they shoot them rapidly. If you are gonna legally arm yourself with something bigger than what they got. Those who serve in the public, they should be fearful of the public. They should be fearful that the public's going to be dissatisfied with their job that they're doing, not feeling like they're tyrants, not feeling like they're bullies because they got guns and body armor and walkie-talkies. That makes them immune to whatever the people would do. I think you want to correct the ideology of the pig and the mentality of the slave catcher. You meet them with equal force. All power to the motherfucking people.
He is giving somebody in law enforcement good cause to blow him away as soon as he twitches wrong.
Paul Birdson from the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense.
Huh?
See, the Black Panther Party that he's trying to emulate came about in reaction to and to pass on what developed with the Deacons for Defense and Justice of Louds County, Louisiana. There were some people in the Deacons for Defense and Justice who had literally been in the 761st Armored Battalion in World War II. They were known as General Patton's Black Panthers, and they were the second most decorated U.S. Army unit eventually outside of the Sensei, who were Japanese and fought in Italy. Now, they came up with the Black Panther logo, the exact same one that the Deacons for Defense and Justice adopted, the exact same one that the famous Panther Party adopted. And you see, when you shoot your mouth off like this, you set yourself up to get done in. You're supposed to act a little bit more quietly about what you say and not sell wolf tickets, because somebody's going to get blown away off of this if they can back it up. And what he's stating in terms of armaments aren't exactly what the reality is. So, you know, he's already said anybody that attempts to approach him, he's going to put a big hole in their chest, with a shotgun. And see, the thing he doesn't get is a 3A vest, even the 2A one, which is typical police now, they use 3A, will stop a 12-gauge blast with buckshot if you get hit with the thing. So they're already out-armored, and he's not. And that's not pretty. So you don't talk about these things.
So this is him explaining what the party is about.
Let me hear.
All power to the people. I'm Chairman Paul Birdson from the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense. I want to address a couple things. Thing number one, I see a lot of people asking why the Black Panthers are going up against ICE for the immigrants. Well, I want to tell you something. The Black Panther Party is not a black nationalist organization. The new Black Panther Party might be. I'm not sure. The Revolutionary Black Panther Party might be. Any of these variations of Black Panther parties might be. But the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, the one that Huey Newton started with Bobby Seale, is an internationalist organization that stands as allies with oppressed people, no matter what their ethnic background is, no matter what their cultural background is. So just like my predecessors stood up against the United States of America's imperialist regime with Vietnam to stop the Vietnam War. I don't know if you know your history, you know the Black Panther Party was strictly opposed to the Vietnam War. You know, we had the Rainbow Coalition with all different ethnic groups coming together and fighting against the regime together. That's what we stand for, all power to the people. We're not racist. The very ideology of racism in and of itself is not intellectual, being that there's only one race on the planet, and that's the human race. We have different ethnic backgrounds, you know what I'm saying? We have different cultural backgrounds, different skin colors, you know, different languages and ideologies, but we're all part of one human race, you know what I'm saying? So racism is in and of itself irrational, illogical, is unsensible. It just doesn't make any sense. No intelligent person would embrace the ideologies of racism. So we're not a nationalist group, we're an international group. And then another thing, you know, I got people from my past, like this one elderly man. I'm not gonna say his name, but they like to troll me and, you know, try to call me fake gangster, fake this, fake that from my past. And, you know, I don't care. You know, my goal is not to prove to anybody that I was ever a gang member or that I was ever a thug or what I was locked up for or wasn't locked up for. You know, my goal is to protect my people from ICE, to protect my people from police brutality, to protect my people from crooked politicians, imperialism, to protect my people from imperialism, fascism, to protect my people from racism, to protect my people from capitalism. That's what my goal is, to protect my people from tyranny. I don't care about none of that stuff you talking about, bro. I'm out here feeding people. I feed hundreds of people a week, if not thousands. You know, the Black Panther Party feeds people in multiple states across the country. I don't care about what you're talking about. While you at home or wherever you are typing on your phone about what I'm doing, I'm outside with these guns and with these warriors I got with me actually fighting for the people, actually doing something that matters, which is what you should be doing. So that's how I feel about that, you know? And with that being said, all power to the people, no power to the pigs.
What? Why are you laughing?
Because it's funny to me. See, I knew some of the people he's talking about personally, some very well. So it's interesting what he's saying. There's a 55-year, well, it's more than 55, 56 or 7 years between what he's talking about and and when it went down. He wasn't there. But anyhow, it's interesting. He's also said something that amused me too, because he's not going to be very appealing to some of the woke folk. Remember, he's saying it ain't about race. You know, some folk really want everything to be about race. You know, the victimization crowd.
So
It's amusing to me. People will learn, but I mean, the point is when you go out trying to sell wolf tickets, somebody might buy a wolf ticket. They might buy a whole book of them to the premiere performance and want an encore and a curtain call. You know, so
look at this picture in here, you know, and these supposed to be people in the party, and there is more white looking faces than there are black, and she's out of shape. Let me see what.
And on behalf of the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense and every revolutionary nationwide that agrees with this cause, I want to first, I'm telling all my comrades, every Black Panther out there, we're going to stop calling the pigs pigs, and we're going to refer to them by their actual name. We're going to call them slave catchers. So when you confront The slave catchers, call them slave catchers. When you address the slave catchers, call them slave catchers. From now on, the only way we refer to the pigs, Black Panther Party for self-defense, is we call them slave catchers. And I would like to tell all my brothers and sisters nationwide, start referring to them as what they are. And I know it's a lot of people out there that say, oh, well, this cop is a good cop and this cop is a good cop. Once they put on that badge, once they take that oath, they're taking the oath to the slave catcher patrol.
Look at them, Judge.
And I take it, they call it police officers now, but their name is Slave Catcher Patrol. That's what they is, that's what they always have been. Every black officer out there, shame on you. And I'm gonna tell you why. You know how the black police officer came into fruition? Back in the day, what a slave owner would do would go to one of the slaves and say, hey, if you'll help me catch my property.
Okay, that was the end of that. So somebody responded, right, to oh, this is them training here. This is them training. They ready for combat. I think they're stuck in a time warp. Was it you was dressed in all black in the 60s on UCLA campus? Late 60s, early 70s?
No, that was
Honey, we got the picture.
I was something else. It wasn't all in black. You'll see. But anyway, it was a different kind of thing.
Was it? Way different. You may not be coming home.
Received many emails from.
You may not be coming home that night or for Christmas back in the day, going up against those pigs back then. See, you know, they want to call.
And the distinction it wasn't all police were pigs. It was the ones that acted like it.
But the main purpose of Black Panthers is to protect your community.
Yeah. They used to do patrols in South Central LA, for example. Shermont Banks, who went to Cal State LA, he was the chairman. And he got a little bit turned off by what was happening.
But
some people started getting out of the penitentiary.
Right.
Bunchy Carter, who had run the gang known as Slausons, got out from doing his time. He was illiterate when he went in, but like Malcolm, he memorized Webster's and he taught himself to read, write, and he wrote pretty good poetry. Matter of fact, I personally recruited him to go to UCLA under a special program we had, which wasn't really affirmative action, along with Geronimo Pratt, a.k.a. G, John Huggins, and Lane Brown. I recruited them all personally.
Well, here's
Nathaniel Clark, and that wasn't what they were about. Quite.
No, they weren't about protecting illegals. And so...
No, they weren't.
So as far as patrolling the community, this new Black Panther thing, whatever it is, I'll call them the fake Black Panthers, they're protecting illegals from ICE. And ICE they're doing their job. They're not acting like pigs. They're doing their job. So,
and the other thing is they're using all of that obsolete communist phraseology, which doesn't do well for public relations in any shape, form, or fashion.
So I want to play this clip here because this guy here, he is denouncing what that guy Paul Birdson is doing. So he's calling himself the original Black Panther Party member, and he's clarifying the difference between what the guy Paul doing, the one that looked Puerto Rican, and him. His name is Mike Payne.
Mike Payne, national leader of the original Black Panther Party here. We have received many emails from people asking what is our official stance on the ICE situation. I need you all to listen and understand what I'm telling you. We, the original Black Panther Party, in good conscience, cannot risk life and limb of our people for groups of people who have not risked life and limb for us. Just because we have a common enemy, that does not equate to us having a common problem. If this was so, now listen to me. If we had a common problem and enemy, where were the immigrants, or even the black immigrants as a whole, when Breonna Taylor, Tyree Nichols, Trayvon Martin, Rollin Hill, Ahmaud Arbery, Eric Garner, Michael Brown, where were you at when our people are murdered in the streets, slaughtered in cold blood by an agency that now hunts you. But now that injustice has touched your door, we have something in common. The Black agenda must come first. We are still working on in-house unification. We cannot afford to divide our ranks to help individuals who have not been reciprocatory. Black citizens, we are not the target. Sure, like anything else, a few Black citizens get stopped, hassled, and ID'd. That's been happening to us for 400 plus years. The difference now is we aren't who they're looking for. We don't mean this in a harsh way to any community that migrated here and are targets of ICE. But legal or illegally, this has been our experience since our shackled feet touched the Virginia soil. Welcome to America.
Actually, the first one was more closely akin to the original Panther Party mantra than the one you just heard from, but this is just part of
I
the.
didn't know the Black Panther Party was still up and running.
That's not the original.
I
That's
know
the
it's not.
recreated.
Because that was completely dismantled via COINTELPRO, and there are still some Black Panther Party members from the 70s that are still in prison today. So,
Well, some of them weren't about Black Panther Party business who were still in. Some were. So
can you get off the computer, please?
I'm looking this up, what he's talking about. So,
Oh, okay, honey, you doing research while we doing this show. I hear that.
yeah. So you do it all the time. I'm just
You
looking
know,
at.
I don't think you're really doing research.
Yes, I am.
Pin the phone so I can see what's on your computer screen.
No, I don't want this to be seen.
Yeah, okay. So listen, good show. Wonderful guest, guys. Please go and support Rosemary Oglesby, Henry, Ohio, District 1. If you do not live in District 1 and you cannot vote, donate to her campaign. So if you can't vote, donate, because that's the second most important, is to donate money. Sometimes it's the first, so they can have the funds to get out there and campaign and talk to the people and everything like that. But donate and vote and support. So great guests. And of course, just this was a good conversation. And let me share this here, because I have to keep talking about this a whole lot, and I have to come up, I am going to have to come up with some marketing things, marketing schemes for, now I don't want to say schemes, but ways of marketing the Patreon, because I created this Patreon so that you can have a platform to talk about things that, that's exclusive, original content, number one. You don't have to be censored, number two. And I'm sorry, people need to start financially supporting the information and knowledge that you spit out, that you give. So I only posted 3 videos so far because I just started it this weekend, guys. And there are 2 reaction videos. It was good content. And, the join Patreon welcome video. So everyone go to, and I named it the Real Dana Network, but the membership is called Judge Joe Brown After Dark. It's only $15 a month. That's not a lot at all. So please go to the Patreon. It's in the description. It's in the chat link, and I'm going to put it in the comment section. Go and sign up to the Patreon, because it's going to be a whole lot of great original content. Because we talked about it last week, and we was talking about the trial of Jesus Christ. Do not go in details, but that's going to be a recording that the judge is going to do.
Basically, give you a little preview. Roman law and American law, at least in terms of structure, are similar. We have a right to be represented by counsel. If you were a Roman citizen, you had a right to be represented by counsel. You had a right to a jury trial as a Roman citizen. You have a right to a jury trial as an American citizen. If you got convicted, you have a right to an appeal in America. You had a right to an appeal as a Roman. They had one thing we don't have, which is if all else failed, you had a right to appeal to the Roman mob, or in other words, to the Roman people.
Yeah, so
A
guys,
little clue, see what we're talking about.
and there's going to be a whole bunch of other things. So, information is power, knowledge is power. So go and subscribe to the Patreon. And you know what I'm going to do is create a Rumble page as well. But first I'm focusing on the Patreon. I want to build that up. And so go and subscribe. Yeah, check it out. It's good stuff. It's going to be great. Martin Luther King Jr. dreamed of a world rooted in justice and peace. His life was cut short by gun violence, but his vision continues to guide the work we do every day at Giffords, standing up for justice, protecting lives, and building a safer future. This MLK Day, we honor him by continuing to fight for safer communities for all. Now, however, someone reposted and they commented, most people don't know Martin Luther King Jr. applied for a concealed carry permit in 1956 after his Montgomery home was firebombed. The local authorities denied him. He wanted to carry a gun because he and his family faced constant threats from the KKK and others. The sheriff deemed him unsuitable. So I wanted to highlight to tell that to say, this person here who posted this original post about JFK, wanted a world of justice and peace, but he also believed in the Second Amendment. And this particular group that posted this, left wing liberal, it's Gabby Gifford. We're on a mission to save lives from gun violence, but you want to use MLK, the very person who wanted to have a gun to protect him and his family. So,
by the way, I'm very much up on that. I've heard some tapes that are in evidence or were in evidence in that case. I was the last judge on the James Earl Ray matter.
Yeah,
and it was Bayard Rustin that talked him out of going armed. And Bayard Rustin wanted to argue that it was against what he was standing for to be armed, and basically his vigilance got let down as a result of listening to Rustin. Now, Rustin was an interesting person. He had played basketball in college. He was very tall, very strong, and let's just put it this way, he was imprisoned during World War II for, he claimed, being a conscientious objector. And while in there, he was continuously written up and disciplined because he would beat up individuals to do what they sometimes do in the prison to get sexual satisfaction. And he was a very violent person. If we are to look at his record of incarceration and the people he allegedly hurt while he was in there. So he, with this history, talks King into not being armed because it was better for the overall atmosphere. But King did try to get a permit, and there was a big to do at one point in that about whether or not he was supposed to be deemed a dangerous individual because of that. But these clowns who want to go off and start talking about gun control, because there's not a darn thing gun control could have done to save Dr. King, because guess what? The weapon that was actually used to kill him was an XM-21. It was made up by the U.S. Army Marksmanship Unit. It came through the FBI. They got 5 of them in late December 1967. One of them was tendered over to 2 U.S. Marine snipers who seemed to have been recruited from the Marine Sniper School in Quantico, Virginia, right across the tarmac from the FBI school there. And they were armed with the special ammunition and the weapon that was used to kill Dr. King from the fire station, not the flop house. And if you go and tour the Civil Rights Museum now and they've got the flop house back open again, they mention my name and my findings on that under the rifle that was James Earl Ray's that is not the murder weapon. So, yeah. That's interesting because what are you going to do about the United States Marine Corps, the personnel in it, or the U.S. Army, or the FBI, and you're talking about controlling the weapons that civilians have? It's a bogus thing. It's just a preemption of common sense, and it's attempting to convert something, to bastardize something, so you support your own agenda by taking reality out of context.